Hey guys, welcome to the video. So, honestly, I was supposed to make this video like a week ago, but I didn't because I was just like, no, I don't have it right. I can't. I don't. So we're getting out of that, right? I saw this TikTok, and I'll find it and put it up so that you guys can watch it. And basically, she was talking about, are you doing what you're constructed to do or what you're created to do? And I was like, that is a good question. That is a really good question, because a lot of the time we're doing what we were constructed to do, because that's what we're raised up to do. You're raised up to be somebody. When you're a young kid, what do you want to be when you're older? What do you aspire to be? So they're raising you up to already think outside of the present moment, outside of where you are right now, but where you're going to be in a later on point. Which is fine and all, to like understand where you want to be in the future and know your goals. But when you're a young child and you haven't found your identity in what you naturally want to do when you're created, it's just kind of one of one, I'd say. I don't know. Okay, let me ground myself. Look at my notes. A pilot doesn't just wake up knowing how to fly a plane. They study the aerodynamics of the sky. They go through courses and courses, take test on test, and even after all those years they spend in flight school, they still can't just go and just say, hey, let me fly your plane. No. There's steps and procedures, and there's rules and regulations required that they have to step into in order to be able to fly a plane, right? They have to practice, they have to spend time getting better, spend time truly calculating, understanding. There's so many steps and checks and balances, in a sense, along with flying a plane, but a bird doesn't have to do that. Birds don't. There's a bird that just flew. Birds don't do that at all. Because they're created to fly. So they soar. They go where they're called to go because that's what they were created to do. They were created to fly. They didn't have to study. They didn't have to read a book. They didn't have to, all right, let's go to flight school. Like, birds don't have a flight school. They just naturally know how to fly. And I feel like that was the difference between being constructed and being created to fly. I don't know about y'all, but I have never seen a plane fly backwards and do some cool-ass flip. Truly. I haven't. I've never seen that before. But for birds, when they're in the sky, and if you're a sightseer or if you just like watching the sky and you just see the birds, how they're flying, it's so effortless. It's so natural. It's something that they don't have to try to do. It just comes organically for them. I think that's food for thought. Because no matter how many years a pilot spends in flight school, they will never, ever, ever be able to fly as effortlessly as a bird. Ever. And that's not to say that the pilot is bad. It's just to say that that's not what it was created to do. That's not its purpose. The bird's purpose is to fly, to travel the sky, to go past places higher than the clouds, ways that we can't even see with our eyes, because that's what it was created to do. The plane was constructed with the intention to make us fly as the birds can, so that we could experience what it's like to be in the sky. And that video, she was like, I guess she was comparing the differences of it, and you can see how the bird was really the what's the word for it? Initiator, or the pioneer for the plane, because looking at it, you see the wings of the bird and then the wings of the plane. Thing is, the planes were molded. The metal was molded to attempt to get it like the wings of a bird, to attempt to have us emulate that experience. But even as you sit in a plane, you'll never experience the breeze, the effortless, the natural love that a bird has for flying. And I think that's the difference between being constructed to do something and then being created to do something. Because yes, technically it can fly. The plane, it is flying in the sky, right? But it only can fly if it's maintained properly and the pilot knows what they're doing. And knows what they're doing isn't a one-on thing, because you can be in the sky and then there's a storm passing by and now you have to maneuver through that. So it's not a one-size-fits-all, or if you take this course on how to be a pilot, you will be a pilot. There's nuance to it. While technically it can fly, however, it will never fly like a bird. No matter how many years the pilot has been flying planes, no matter how many mechanics they send, the first plane was made in 1903. The latest plane that just came out was released in December 2025, the Airbus A321XLR. It was released in December. If y'all know more about planes, I just went on a Google search, bro. I didn't like, for real. So don't eat me up, please. But that's 122 years, by the way. 122 years, and it's still, I haven't seen a plane go like this. I haven't. Not with people in it. Why? Don't know why. Because the only way a plane flies is when it's maintained properly and the pilot is confident in their knowledge of how to fly, based on the information provided for them and the data gathered as the traveling ensues. But even at that point, it's still never an 100% guarantee that they will fly flawlessly. Never. It's never a guarantee that they'll fly flawlessly, simply because that's not what it was created to do, bro. It's a bunch of metal that you molded up and to get into the air. So there can be some mistakes. There can be some fault. And this is not to scare anybody about flying in a plane or anything like that. I'm just saying, you can clearly see the difference between being created to do something and then being constructed to do something, right? And I've noticed this pattern within my own life, and then also the lives of those around me. Now, doing what you're constructed to do by peers, family members, societal expectations, anything outside of yourself, truly, is 9 times out of 10 an eminent pillar of dissatisfaction for you in your life. And the reason is because you don't want to do that. It's not to say that you don't find enjoyment in it. It's not to say that, it gets the bills paid, because it does. But if money wasn't a problem, would you enjoy this? Would you still be doing this thing that you're doing every day? The thing that you're waking up for every morning, would you still be doing it? 3, 4, 5 on the clock. And doing that, being somebody else or not being your authentic self, or following your heart's desires for the approval of somebody else, or to fit into society expectations, is like Hercules or Achilles. What is it? Achilles heel? Achilles heel? Achilles heel? I don't know, bro. Something like that, bro. Okay, it's his fucking kryptonite. For real, is what I'm trying to say. Because you're not doing, and like, you're waking up to live a life for somebody else. Live a life for the expectation or the idea of what it's gonna look like for somebody else. Like, yeah. You have 15 cars. That's nice. Are you happy? Are you enjoying your life? Are you happy? Are you overjoyed to wake up and experience every day? 9 times out of 10, the answer is no. And because of that, it bleeds into so many different areas of your life. Like, I don't understand the fascination with, we're freshly 18, some even 17, and it's all right, everybody, let's go to college. Everybody, let's figure out what you're gonna do for the rest of your life. And you don't even know who you are. You can't even find true authenticity or true love for what you're doing because you don't know what you want to do, or you don't know why you decided to pick this major because your parents wanted you to, and you were trying to meet that standard. And now you've gotten to the point, oh, a plane's passing by. Now you've gotten to the point where you've realized that you're unhappy, you're dissatisfied with your life. And the reason you're dissatisfied is because you were constructed to do that. You weren't created to do that. Like that. You weren't created to fly. I've noticed it in so many people. That, like, when we're young, it's this spark. It's like, oh, I know what I'm gonna do. Like, I know I'm gonna be like XYZ. And they have all these dreams of what they can be and the things that they can't wait to accomplish. And then slowly but surely, the more that you're indoctrinated into this system, you just start to feel like you don't have a life worth living for, or every day is the same, or you're just trying to make it to tomorrow, or I gotta find a way to get this money by tomorrow, or like, things like that, where you're not genuinely enjoying what you're doing. You're not genuinely present in your life, but you're living for somebody else. And that doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good when you're constantly trying to see how you can be better, see how you can meet society's expectations, because society's always going to want something out of you. Always. There's always a new beauty hack or new fucking idea of what the beauty standard is. Or before, they didn't want you to be thick. Now you can be slim thick, but if you're too thick, then you're like, it's a whole bunch that doesn't fucking matter, if I'm being honest. And it's like, little by little, I watched the light get dimmed from people's eyes until they push their dreams away altogether. And it can be for a number of things. It can be because of so many things, but 9 times out of 10, the main one is because you're not doing what you want to do. You're not doing what you were created to do, what your soul is calling you to do. What is your purpose? Are you being in your purpose? Most people aren't. Most of us are just living, trying to make it to tomorrow, which, understandable, because look at everything that's going on in the world, right? But at the same time, don't. Like, observe it, but don't internalize it and say, okay, well, what am I going to do right now? How am I going to help all these people? Because I was having a conversation with somebody, and he actually gave me like a ding type moment, because he was like, yeah, it's a lot going on out there, but you have to figure out how you can help you first, and then you can try to help other people once you've found yourself. And it really stuck with me, because when everything with the Epstein files and all that fun stuff came out, I was distraught. I was like, why are we still going to work? Why are we still paying taxes to these people? Why are we still paying bill? Why isn't anybody mad? Why isn't anybody angry about this stuff? But then I had to realize I can only be in control of me. I can't be in control of everybody else around me. So me, I'm going to be in my purpose, doing what I know that I want to do for my success, not for my success, but that would make me happy. Things that actually feel good to me, like creating these videos and sharing my perspective of the world, like that actually is fun to me. I was so ready for this. I spent so much time getting ready and pouring all of my love into this. This is my passion. This is something that I love to do. I love to yap, I do. But talking about things that can actually impact somebody in a way that will alter their life, that alters their reality for the best, simply because they have the awareness now, I love that. I literally love that. So yeah, you may have felt this burning desire once to give yourself the life that you desire. You know, it's like, oh, my dream. What do you dream of? If money wasn't an issue, what would you be doing, right? And you can see how their entire face lights up, and it's like, yo, I would be like, they light up. And it's like, why are we conditioning ourselves to not experience that and to live the same day over and over again, instead of just going where you feel called, going where you actually want to go, you know? And I wrote, you may have once felt this burning desire to give yourself the life of your dreams, but the older you got, the more you pushed it away to the back of your mind. Eventually, years passed, and you didn't even notice that you began regurgitating the limitations of society. I can't do that. I don't have time. I don't have money. Money doesn't grow on trees. All of these sayings, all of these identities, all these beliefs that you just take on and attach to yourself. And it's like, no, I have to do this. I gotta go serve the man. And it's, why? You don't have to. You truly don't have to. You can actually go where you're called to. And it sounds, I guess, insensitive to some to say that, but for me, I don't want a life where I'm living the same day over and over again, unhappy and struggling because I can't go where my heart is, because I'm not enjoying my life. I'm not enjoying the thing that I'm pouring all of my energy to. When I'm waking up at 5 in the morning, getting ready for work, going there till 7, leaving, coming home, and then picking up the next shift to go tomorrow, like all of this, and it was just for money. My body was drained. I genuinely didn't feel happy within my skin. I didn't. I felt like I was living the same day over and over again, and I wasn't having an out. And then it was like I was trying to save, but I wasn't saving. It was just this big thing of running in a cycle. I felt like I was on a hamster wheel, just doing, and not receiving the results that I truly desire. But once I fell back into my own energy and actually realized, okay, well, what do I want to create for myself? What is it that I want out of my life? What is it that I can give to somebody else that will help them and help me at the same time? And that's like me finding my purpose. So I know, like, I won't inspire you to quit your job right now, but if you could at least do one thing that little you longed to do, little you aspired to spend so much time just pouring into yourself, like do the thing. Do one thing every day to be better, to be that version of you, to just put yourself a little bit closer to your goals, a little bit closer to it. Because eventually, if you don't, you'll take a look at yourself at 30 and wonder what happened to you. like the midlife crisis thing that everybody goes through, like, oh, I don't understand what I've been doing. I've been living the same day over and over again, and I'm not going to experience that. I'm not. I'm doing everything in my power to follow my purpose, follow my passion, follow my intuitive guidance. If I feel like I want to do something, I'm going to do it because I want to, because I feel like I deserve to have a good, fun life. I deserve to go where I feel called to. I deserve to live and have fun in the midst of chaos, in the midst of everything around me. It doesn't have to block me. It doesn't have to keep me captive and hold me in a cage that isn't big enough to fit me. I won't box myself into somebody else's standard, somebody else's expectation of me just for them to feel good, just so that I can be another pawn into their games, you know? And I don't want that. I don't want that for any of us. Eventually you take a look at who you've been and you don't see your soul reflection in your life, but instead all of the limitations and obstacles that your ego created. Having to face the harsh truth of your life and who you've shown up as can be so depressing, because you don't know what you could have, because you know what you could have done. Had you given yourself the trust, faith, and belief? Have you went out on a whim trusting yourself with nothing but unwavering faith in your process? You don't know where you could have been, but in your mind's eye, you saw something. You saw a vision of that version of you who had everything, who had the desire, who had the job, who had the car, who had whatever it is that you want. You've seen them, but you were too scared to step out into the uncomfortability of not knowing what's going to happen next. And newsflash, I was on a walk earlier today, and I was looking at a tree that had knocked down, and I was like wondering, I wonder how the tree feels. Like, how is the tree, what does the tree really feel? But then I have to sit there with myself and really think, like, the tree doesn't care. The tree just is. It's a human thing to be like, oh, how is it gonna look to somebody else? How is it gonna feel? Because if I'm not doing this and they're doing this, and I'm automatically off my path. But no, that's a human thing. For the tree, them just being is enough. Just being here, being this version of themselves is enough. The tree simply is. And because of that, that's enough. And I feel like we can learn a lot from them. We can learn a lot from nature. We can learn a lot from just being that version of you. You know? But it's tough. It's tough. It's tough to sit with the identity, sit in front of the person in the mirror who blocked you. Sit in front of the person who stopped you from being that version of you, because it's you. It was up to you. Completely. It's tough to sit with the identity you've been running away from. Being faced with all the little nudges you've been getting to pour into you, but for the sake of not being alone, you ignored it. For the sake of going against the grain, you wanted to do something different. For the sake of, I'm gonna stand out too much. Oh, they're gonna look at me. Oh, I'm gonna be judged. Oh, I'm gonna, all this stuff. But what about you? Because now, you're 30, looking around like, damn, I was gonna go to the game. I was gonna be in the NBA. Bro, you ever hear them videos? And it's like, yeah, you know, nephew, I got the opportunity of a lifetime. I had the opportunity to play with these people. I had the opportunity to go for this team, and I just didn't see it. I just couldn't see it. Why? Why do you do that to yourself? Why? Like, I hate hearing that story, because then you just see how unhappy they are with their life today, and it's just like, damn, you settled. You settled. I'm not settling. Anything that I feel like I want to do for my life, I'm going to go try it. Because why not? Who's going to stop me? Who's blocking me from being that version of myself that has everything I desire? besides me. And I don't mean being alone as in just not around people, because maybe you're comfortable with being alone by yourself. That's great. That's great. But are you running away from silence with yourself? When was the last time you sat in peace, phone off, TV off, nothing but you and your thoughts? If you haven't sat with yourself in silence, you're still running from yourself. Because there's a reason why you're uncomfortable with hearing the thought process that you have. There's a reason why you constantly need to, oh, I gotta listen to music. Oh, I gotta put this video on. Oh, let me scroll on TikTok. Oh, let me. Where are you going? You can't run from yourself. I made a card. One of my, I don't know if I brought my cards with me. I don't think so. I didn't. Okay. But yeah, one of my cards is, why are you running? You can't outrun yourself. Because you literally can't. I'm going to be here. Y'all know that Boss Baby sound? What's the sound? Every morning you wake up, I'll be there. Like, something like that. And the real reason you aren't doing the things you desire is because you don't trust yourself. You don't have a real relationship with yourself at your core. So of course, watching a new show, gossiping with these girls, scrolling on TikTok, of course going on your daily doom scroll wouldn't hurt anybody. Of course. Why would it? You don't trust that if you really put faith in yourself, you don't trust that if you really go after what you desire, you can be a success. You can be an overnight sensation if you really just believed in yourself so much. But you don't even understand how much you're running from yourself. A lot of people don't even sit with themselves enough to understand that, hey, I've been trying to be somebody else that I'm not. I've been playing a role that's not organic to me. I've been following these wants, doing these things that don't align with who I am naturally. And while the initial blockage from the reason why you're running from yourself may have been created not by you, it may have been trauma, it may have been, all that fun stuff, but at this moment, in this day and age, at this time, you are the only person with the gun to your head. You are the only person that's perpetuating the same cycle for yourself over and over again. That's you. And it's hard to hear, because spending time understanding that this whole time I could have changed my life. I could have been somebody completely different had I had the faith, had I had the trust in myself, in my ability. But because of something that somebody said one time to me, I became the biggest bully in my life. Oh, don't post that picture. You see that look in your back. Well, why would you post that TikTok? Why would you post that TikTok? You made the goofiest face at the end. Oh my God, why would you post that? Why would you post that picture? No, let me go through it again. Hold on, wait, why would you send that message? No, because if you send that message like that, then they're going to think that you're irritated with them, and they're not going to want to be friends with you. If you really go out and post this video, then how are your friends from childhood going to think? What are they going to think about you? If you unfollow them from Instagram, they're going to be hurt. They're going to think that you really don't like them. They're really going to... You see how you're just externalizing all of this to, well, they're going to, and you're just trying to predict how other people think? When in reality, it's just you. It's just you being the biggest bully in your life. Being the only one that's stopping you from truly catapulting into your best life. And it's not an easy thing. It's not like I'm just saying, oh, 1, 2, 3, it's done. No. But once you're aware of it, once you have the awareness that, hey, I've been perpetuating a cycle. I've been bullying myself. I've been overcritical of myself. I've been, I don't know, whatever you've been doing, you know what you've been doing. Most of us don't lean into the discomfort, but would rather do anything to feel something, even if just for a moment, anything to fill that void inside. And I've been through it. I've been through that. I've done the media. I've done, what? Sorry guys, I just lost my place. And y'all know, y'all saw this thing. I typed so much. Okay, yeah, and I've been through it all. Using people, and not like using people, but keeping people around just because I didn't want to feel alone. I didn't want them to feel any type of way. What's next? Substances, smoking weed just to feel something or to not feel something, to ease my mind, because in the past I was an overthinker. I would label myself as that. So I just constantly spent so much time going like, oh, I just need to calm down. I just need to zen. It just cools me down, which there's nothing wrong with weed. There's nothing wrong with doing everything that you do, right? But if you notice that you can't be alone, you can't not do it, you're doing it to feel something inside of you. If you need it every day, then there's a void that you're trying to run away from. Spooky. Yes, it's very spooky, actually. I use the eating, like just, what is it? What do they call that? Shit. What is it? Oh, stress eating. That stress eating shit. Just overly trying to feel anything. Scrolling, money, just spending money because I'm like, oh, I'm gonna feel so much better after I got this. And these are like untangible things. Buying things that don't really have any real, purpose. Buying things that I just didn't really want just because I just wanted to feel something. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna feel better after I buy this. And you're not. Anything to fill that void and silence that inner knowing that you can be doing so much more. I could be living a completely different life, and that's painful. It's painful to sit there in the silence and hear, I haven't been being authentic. It hurts to sit with the painstaking truth, not sugar-coated by using your parents, your upbringing, that trauma from years ago that left you paralyzed, the economy, fuck it, the world in general. It's easy to use all these external things to confirm or judge, or like, well, yeah, if the economy wasn't like this, then I'd be like this, and if my family set me up like this, I would have been like this. You could use all the excuses that you want in the world, but at the end of the day, it's you that's living this life. You are the one living this life. You are the one perpetuating this cycle. And it hurts to look at your shadows in the face and to take accountability and sit with it and really understand that I did this. So how am I going to undo this? And you undo it by sitting with yourself and really understanding the reason why. Get to the root cause of all of these things. Shadow work is very helpful. EFT tapping, inner child healing, like breath work. There are so many things that we can do to change our lives. Like, so many things. It hurts so much that most people spend their entire lives running away from it. But you can't outrun yourself. You can get the $1 million, but you're still going to feel like the unworthy child who didn't receive the love that their parents gave them. You still don't feel worthy. You still don't feel loved in your skin. You still don't feel whole by yourself, tied to nothing. Wholeness tied to nothing, but just because you are. Like the trees. The trees don't need 50K subscribers on Instagram to feel whole. The tree doesn't need to look like any other tree for them to feel whole, for them to feel grounded in their knowledge that they are. And that's it. Okay? The problem is most people haven't slowed down enough with themselves to even recognize that they are unhappy until they can't run anymore. And boom, midlife crisis. You finally got caught in a web you've been spinning yourself around for your whole life. Now, you enter the midlife crisis feeling like you haven't done enough. I've been doing all this, I've been doing all that, I've been working all these jobs, I've been providing for this part of my family, I've been sending money to these people, and I have nothing to show for it. What is my life? And newsflash, it's because you haven't been doing enough of what you want to do. You've been doing enough of what everybody else needs you to do. Yeah, but what about you? You can't you can't pour from an empty cup. If your cup is empty and you're trying to give water to the ocean, you're trying to fill the ocean with a little bucket of water. You've already gave as much as you could give. You've already done all that you can do for everyone else. But when it comes to you, it's just, I'll do it tomorrow. I don't have time. I'm tired. I gotta go to bed. I gotta. You can't spend 5 minutes with you. You can't spend 30 seconds breathing, slowing your body down, saying that I am safe in my body. I know that I am safe. I know what I'm doing and I trust myself. You can say some affirmations. You can look in the mirror and tell yourself you love you. And that's superficial, yes, but it's going to get deeper as you keep going. But the more that you try to put it out into this external, like, oh, I need to get here, or I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, like you're blocking yourself. You're the person that's blocking yourself. And I know it's hard to hear, but would you rather deal with a couple chapters of shit that you've ignored, or do you want to spend another 30 years on top of that and then deal with the shit that you've ignored? You don't want to do that, do you? You don't want to deal with 50 years of trauma, right? And just be trying to crack the surface of why you've been perpetuating these cycles. You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that, though. You don't. So let's deal with it right now. Let's deal with it in the moment. If you notice a feeling coming up, don't push it down and try to be cool. Don't try to, because what are you doing that for? Who are you living for? You're not on a stage. This is your show. Act like you know. I don't know if you guys know her. Mogul Mo. Y'all should really follow her. She has really good channels. But the world is your oyster, bro. You can do anything. You can start tap dancing right now, for real. You're unbound by any circumstance. You're unbound by any circumstance. You are unbound by any circumstance. Don't allow anybody else to project their ideas of what society needs or their ideas of what you should be onto you, because you know what you want to do. You know who you want to be. You know who would make you happy to look in the mirror and see your reflection. You know that if you look in the mirror and you see the janitor thing on, you wouldn't feel good about yourself. You wouldn't feel good in your skin. Why is that, though? Why is it that a certain numerical value can make you feel any better or any worse about yourself? That's spooky, y'all. That's spooky. You're too busy trying to fit into a box that wasn't even made for you. But you haven't even sat with yourself long enough to know that you were forcing yourself into a box that somebody else made. Spooky. The people who want to take their life, I've been there. And it feels like you don't have anything else to live for. It feels like there's no purpose. It feels like, why am I even here? What is the reason for this? And you have so many questions, so many, what am I here for? Why me? Why me? Why? Right? I've been there. 9 times out of 10, most people have been on the ledge. It's more common than you think. And you don't have to be physically standing there. You don't have to physically slit your wrist. You don't have to do that. You don't have to be there. But the root starts here. It starts with you blocking yourself mentally. Mentally self-harming yourself is the beginning. Comparing yourself to others around you and trying to figure out why you aren't like them. Why your life isn't working out like their life is. When your life is not going to look like anybody else's. Your journey is uniquely your own. Uniquely your own. there's no rule book, there's no guidelines on how to have a perfect human life. Everybody is different. Everybody's soul calls for something else. I am called to speaking in nature and I love it, but somebody else can't stand this. Somebody else will be having the heebie-jeebies sitting here and looking at they're like, oh my God, the bugs, like, you know, all that stuff. We're all different. We all need something different. But if you are trying to live your life like somebody else's, then you're never going to be happy. You're never going to be, because that's not what you want to do. And you know that. You know that that's not what you want to do. You know that comparing yourself to somebody else and their life, it works for them, but it's not working for you. You can see that it's not working for you. So you can go where you're called to. Go somewhere where you actually feel like your words, your impact is felt, and not for the external approval, but for yourself, so that you can feel happy, so that you can feel confident, so that you can go, yeah, I did that. Yes, I actually did. I did draw that. I did write that book. I did. That is mine. This is my building. Yes, I did remodel this place, this whatever you want to do. Whatever you want to do it. Please. Like, I'm so sick and tired of people telling me that I just don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. I just wish that I don't know why I did the things that I did. I just wish I could go back. You can't go back, but you can start right now. Start right now. You can't go back. You can't change yourself to be anybody else, but you can be yourself right now. You can be the most authentic version of you. You can step into this fully just step into it. No one else has your desires, goals, dreams, or aspirations for what you know you can see for yourself accomplishing. Nobody else has your exact wishes. Nobody else has it. For the same reason that you do, nobody has it. Nobody. So are you going to let somebody else's projection stop you from being the version of yourself who already has it? Or are you going to get out there? Are you going to follow your intuition? Are you just going to go out on a whim and trust yourself and know that you'll be caught? The last video that I posted is stepping off the bridge knowing that I'll be caught. There was this video from Freya, and one of the channels that she said was, it's like you're stepping off of a mountain and the bridge is invisible and you can't see the next step, but you're caught. You were caught with that first step, and you know that you're going to be caught with the next one. You know that. There's no expectation onto, oh, I have to be this version of me, I have to be that. No, you can be you fully, authentically, not sugarcoating it, not trying to make it look pretty, not tying it up with a bow and serving it up to somebody on a silver platter, but you authentically. If you want to make mud pies, then you can make mud pies, bro. If you want to be in a Michelin star restaurant, then you can do a Michelin star restaurant things. But if you aren't thinking about it, if you aren't going after it mentally, physically, spiritually, at least in one area of your life, then you're going to be unhappy. You're going to wake up one day and say, why am I living this way? Why is this my life? Who am I being? Who are these people around me? I don't even recognize myself in the mirror. That's how you're going to feel. And I hate that. I hated that feeling. That feeling of, oh my God, I just can't. I can't do anything else. I don't know why. And it's draining. It's so draining, and it's so sad. And it hurts my heart. It hurts my heart to see people in that cycle, because they feel like they're obligated to do it when you're not. You're unbound by every single circumstance. You have no limits. There's no bounds to what you can do. There's absolutely no bounds to the greatness of you at all. You're one of one. You are one of one. Okay? So if you aren't going after it physically, mentally, or thinking about how great it would be for you, but you're comparing and feeling envious of other people, because I've noticed that. I've noticed say, you'll see a video of a girl, she's shaking her ass in a bikini on a yacht. And in the comments, it's a whole bunch of people going, oh, hell no, I could never. Well, guess where you're at? Sitting on your couch, on your phone, judging her. Are you on the yacht? Are you on the yacht? Are you in Tulum like her? No, you're not. You're not. So what are we projecting our limitations onto other people because we wish that we would be there for? That is so lame. That's really lame. I'm not gonna lie. And I've seen it too many times of, oh, the rich just keep getting richer. Well, get like them. Get a rich friend and be inspired. Follow some more rich creators and change your mindset so that you can be one of them. Don't judge them. Don't sit there and go, oh, I wish I could. Well, if you wish you could, then that means there's a reason why you had that desire. There's a reason why you want that thing that you want, so you can start taking the steps to get to that spot. But if you don't think that it's possible for you, then don't spend your time judging somebody else for them believing that it's possible and showing you that you can. Just because they showed you you can, don't take your limitations and go, well, that's not true for me. If you're in a manifestation and you see somebody there saying, well, I just decided and it is, don't go into their comment section and go, oh, well, I don't think that's true. I don't think, what do you mean? What do you mean? You're dumb. You're spending your time blocking somebody else's blessings for what? Because you don't think that it's possible for you? I feel like that's a little weird. I feel like that's something that we should stop doing. And even comparing and feeling envious about other people's journey when they're living victoriously, they are, that's what it is. They're living victoriously and you're living vicariously through them. Through the people that are doing what they want to and believing in themselves, because they believe in themselves, because they have 100% faith in their ability. You, from the couch, are living through them and then judging and feeling envious and feeling this hatred because you aren't doing that thing. When you could, you can do it. Just because they are doing what they want and believing in themselves wholeheartedly, it should be inspiration for you to know that, oh, I can do this too. I too can achieve all of my dreams. I too can see myself breaking past these barriers and breaking past the limitations of Maya. I can. You don't have to sit here and agree with everybody else. You don't have to do this group think shit. You don't have to. You don't have to keep running in circles around your life. Running in circles and wondering why it's not changing. Wondering why it's not the same. Why it's not looking how you envision it to look. But the reason why is because you aren't doing what you want. What you're created to do. You're in a cubicle and you know you want to be in Costa Rica. So maybe get a cubicle in Costa Rica. Like, I don't know. Like, figure out what works for you. Please. I'm not living a life that I don't want just to fit into a box society gave. No one's coming to save you. Nobody is coming to live your life and make the dreams that you see in your head a reality. They're just going to make you get another job. They're just going to say, oh, maybe you should take a day off. Maybe you should take... No, this is my fucking life, bro. My life. I choose. I go where I am called. I flow in the energy that I need to. And you ever hear, there's this, I just like this whole idea that, oh, what would you do? Would you do X, Y, and Z for $40 million? Would you punch your baby mama for $40? Like, what are we talking about? And the response is always so, oh, no hesitation. She just gonna have to be mad. Oh, hell yeah, I'm gonna do, what? You're gonna, because of a numerical value, that's gonna make you change your morals, change your way of being, change who you know yourself to be because of money? And I'm not saying that I'm not saying that having money is a bad thing. I'm just saying you're going to compromise your morals for money. Money can grant freedom. It grants freedom, yes, but you can be free with $0 in the bank account. It's a state of mind. And that state of mind attracts all of your desires to you with ease. But not because you're in a hustling energy, not because you worked 15 hours a day and you only slept once a now, and then you gotta take care of your 15 kids, and then you gotta provide for your grandma, and then you gotta, like, you're running around living your life for somebody else that's not you. For everybody else but you. and then wondering why you're unhappy. Do what you are created to do, the thing that comes naturally to you, okay? And I was watching Rio, and it was so amazing to me, okay? Rio, in the beginning of the book, in the beginning of the movie, you can see how he's reading the manual on how to fly, because he's like, I've never flown before, when in reality, he has flown before. The thing is, when he was flying, the first opportunity that he took to fly, he was traumatized. He tried to jump out he tried to fly for the first time, and then all the birds around him were being captured, and they were poached, right? Poachers, and they started taking everything from him, right? So his first time trying to fly was traumatic. He fell from the tree and got captured along with the many others who already knew how to fly. Before he could create his own connection with flying as a little baby, he was caged and given a rule book for how to assimilate to new living under Linda's care. In his eyes, he was rescued from the harsh conditions of the forest and the fears and dangers of flying by Linda, who was caring for him in the best way she could. She still kept and reprogrammed an unlimited bird. She caged him into the house thinking that she was saving him, which she did in a sense, but he lost his autonomy. He lost his natural instinct, the natural want to fly, to be one of one, to be unbound by any circumstance. But he took in the limitations and the projections of Linda, who, as we can see, is an introvert. She doesn't like to go out. She's very tight-knit, and he adapted to her human identity and saw himself as that, which is very interesting because you can see that in the school system, how they indoctrinate you and assimilate you to get to this state of being, this pattern, this way of being where you're worker. You just constantly gotta do, and you're not being. You're not being who you want to be. So yeah, he read the book, he read a manual for how to fly, gave himself a runway, and was attempting to go. And it was so interesting to me because he wrote down a formula and everything. And it's like, when you're created to do something, you don't have to do all the background, the studying, the checks and balances, the 14 years of studying aerodynamics of the sky. Like, you don't have to do all of that. You don't have to figure out the equation. You just are, and you be, and it naturally comes to you. Naturally. When he finally flew, when he caught Jules and was flying with her, he wasn't doing the left, right. Like, he didn't have his fucking mathematical procedure that he set up in his head. He didn't have that yet. He was just going where he felt called. And even the bird said, flying isn't up here, it's in here. Going and doing what you want to do authentically is not in the mind. It's not something that you plan out. It's not something that you figure it out and you just gotta get these certifications for it. No, if you feel called, that's a heart desire. That's your soul's purpose. And it's calling out for that. It's calling out to be appreciated, to be loved, to be acknowledged, that I trust you. I trust you and I have complete faith. I'm not overthinking it. I'm not wondering on how it's going to look and how everything. I'm just here and present in my soul's calling. And this is what? Flow state. This is flow state, going with aligned action, going where you're called to go. And if you're the type of person that is very structured and you need everything organized, and I'm not the type of person that you should watch because I actually need more of that. I have 4 Pisces placements, so I'm very, in the sky, as they would say. A dreamer. But the thing is, I'm taking my dreams and grounding them into reality so that I can birth the life that I want to see, so that I can be proud of the woman that I see in the mirror, because that's all I want. And that's all I want for all of us. I want all of us to be our most authentic, happy, loving selves, who are just doing what we choose to do because we are unbound by anything. We are human beings. We're multidimensional. We're multifaceted. You can do anything. You don't have to subscribe to the 9-to-5 life. You don't have to block yourself and keep yourself in these patterns. You don't have to do that. You can choose to go where you are called to go. You can do the thing that you want to do, just because why the fuck not? Why not? Who's gonna block you? Who's gonna stop you from being that version of yourself who has everything? But you. You are the biggest obstacle in your way. And once you get out of your own way, you'll see that there was nothing else that could block you but you stepping into the fullness of your authenticity, the fullness of everything that you are. And I just love this. I went off track, and this isn't how I envisioned the video to go. And I think that's the purpose of it, though. Like, I think that's the point. The point is, it doesn't have to go exactly how you planned it to go. You don't need to have it planned out word for word, bar for bar. This is exactly how it's going to come out. No, you just go. Flow. Go where your soul is called to go. Yes, I'm gonna just read this, though. Blue's one experience with attempting to fly for the first time was traumatic. He fell from the tree and got captured along with many of the others who already knew how to fly. Before he could create his own connection with flying as a little baby, he was caged and given a rule book for how to assimilate to new living under Linda's care. In his eyes, he was rescued from the harsh conditions of the forest and the fears and dangers of flying by Linda, who, while caring for him in the best way she knew how, she still kept and reprogrammed an unlimited bird in a situation where, even if he learned to fly, he had limitations all around him. Without being aware, she was projecting her fears and anxiety of being alone onto Blue. No one saw this as a problem because she was in need of a companion and he needed a rescue mission. Blue then assimilated to the vision of who Linda needed him to be, blocking him from community of other birds. He was domesticated and saw himself to be better than those birds who were free because he didn't see their freedom in the same way he felt the comfort of having everything provided for him and living like a human. But more so, it was the comfort of the predictability, the comfort of knowing what was coming next, because even in the second movie, he has his fanny pack when he goes into the forest. He was so attached to knowing and having a way out and having the answers for how everything is going to play out. And being a bird, being free, being in your soul's calling is not knowing. It's embracing the fact that you don't know. And the only thing that you may know is that you don't know. For Blue, he found safety in knowing how situations are going to play out. As we see in the beginning of the movie, his routine with Linda was the same every day. He knew exactly what was coming, and when he did, he was prepared. At the time, at home, he had control over what was coming. A completely different energy from being without Linda, who even in a community of birds in the second movie, he felt ostracized because he was so used to knowing the facts from a book or Linda and having a plan and knowing what was coming next. It gave him a sense of security and control in a world where the unexpected is the only constant. That was it. The unexpected is the only constant, guys. The only thing that you know for sure, you don't know when death is going to hit you. You don't know. But the only thing that you know for sure is that life is unfolding and you're here. You're present in this moment. You know that it's gonna come eventually. One day, you'll not be here anymore. And maybe you have a fear of death. I don't personally. I personally have never had a fear of death. Maybe that's because I was depressed in a childhood. So it was like I was ready to go. But now it's not a depressing, I'm ready to go. It's just I'm here and I'm experiencing the presence of every moment, and I'm not pushing it out to a later time or oh, in 5 years' time, I'll be perfect. In 5 years' time, I'll have every one of my desires. No. Right here in this moment, I am whole. If I were to die right now, I still feel this serene wholeness, this love that I have from within me radiating outside with no reasoning, but because I am. And because I get to experience this. I get to experience the sun. I get to see the clouds move through the sky. I get to see these trees. I get to feel this physical vessel. I get to be here. I am grateful that I even get to be here. So, I'll leave you guys with that. And yeah, I'm unhappy with how this video, I'm a little unhappy because I didn't picture this video ending up like this. This wasn't what I envisioned, but I feel like it needed to be said. It needed to be done because the more that I kept this plan in my notes app, the more that I was projecting on my limitations and my ideas of what it needs to look like to somebody else, when in reality, the idea was mine. I got this idea in my head because it needed to be expressed. Somebody needed to see this. There's somebody out here who is looking and searching and longing for an answer, and this video is the answer. So, no longer projecting anything onto my experience that isn't authentic. I love you guys. If you haven't heard it, I wish you guys all the best, and I know that you will be successful in every single one of your desires, so long as you believe it, so long as you put that belt to ass. Put belt to ass. Do what you want to do now, because what are you waiting for? You don't know when it's coming. You don't know when it's coming, but you do know that you're here right now, and you get to experience this moment for what it is. And I see a red cardinal. That may be significant for somebody, but I love you. I wish you all the best. Have a great night. Great night, great day, great morning. Have a good one.